What's up, guys? Welcome back
Hi.
to another Monday night. We are doing our part 2 of our Run Disney stream, so I'm very excited. We definitely had lots to chat about last time.
Yes.
So if you guys didn't have a chance to check out that part 1 of this Run Disney stream, go ahead and check that out. But I am so excited to have Kristen from Running in Makeup on. Kristen has a YouTube channel, Instagram, do you have TikTok too?
I do, but I don't ever post there. And
That's
what
okay.
I have posted there is embarrassing. So
I feel that way too about my TikTok.
I'm not cool
I'm
enough to have TikTok. So
I love
I'm
it.
barely cool enough to have Instagram, but here we are.
No. Oh my gosh, you have so many followers on Instagram. It's pretty awesome.
I actually just crossed over the 10K threshold like not 30 minutes ago. So
congratulations.
I'm pretty
excited.
Gosh.
That's amazing.
Excited. Yeah.
So guys, please go check out Kristen's Instagram as well as her YouTube channel. There's amazing Run Disney stuff on there as well as all Disney content. So you do not want to miss out on that. I'm seeing people's comments about my ears. I love it. I had to wear them.
Oh my gosh, I go see it tomorrow. So no spoilers.
No, of course not.
No chat. Yeah. I'm like
so far away from spoilers, but
yeah,
I'm pretty excited about it. I'm gonna go see the movie again this week.
Oh, okay. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock. I literally have a date tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
I love it. Oh, it's so good. For anyone that hasn't seen it, it's amazing. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so that was like a dream. It was a dream for this movie to come out. So
no, see, I'm not a Spider-Man. I'm a Marvel fan, but I'm not necessarily a Spider-Man fan. Is it true? I have heard. Is it true that I don't necessarily need to have seen the other ones to understand what's going on?
I think the more impactful moments, which ones are you talking about?
The Spider-Man.
Like all of them?
Like all of them. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to answer that.
Yes or no?
Suppose for me, because I grew up as a kid watching Tobey Maguire.
Yes.
I mean, in the trailer, you obviously know that Doc Ock is in the movie, and who's one of the villains. I don't know if you know Dr.
Yes.
Ock.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you could see the Green Goblin throwing one of his bombs in the trailer.
Yes.
So that's in the trailer. So you know that there are villains from that series.
And I know that there is a particular villain that has shown up recently in a separate series that is also part of Spider-Man in the larger.
Okay. But I would say it's, I mean, you're not going to watch all of them by tomorrow night.
No, I am not. No, I am not, because I have a job.
Knowing because I'm a really big Spider-Man fan, I feel like the moments that were very, I don't want to say small, but you pick up on a lot of the smaller, more intimate moments if you know all of the other stuff that's happened. Yeah. Or I don't know, like Easter eggs or like things that, wouldn't normally be in a movie. Some parts were really hilarious because they took
someone said if you want to understand it fully, you need to see the 37 episode cartoon series from 1979. I don't have that kind of time. So.
You have to watch every single MCU movie and then TV show.
Which
every Marvel TV show.
Oh no, I haven't seen every TV show. So.
No, that's just a joke. You don't have to.
I'm about to say, then I'm about to be sitting in a theater being like,
I feel like you could probably get by and still enjoy the movie very much so, because the acting's really well done. There's some great action. Spidey was amazing. That's pretty much all you could say. Yes, the amazing Spider-Man. You could definitely.
Well, and I love Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is like in my top 3 favorite Avengers. Cool. So
cool.
Yeah.
Did you say your favorite Avengers?
He's in my top 3. Captain America.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't want to spoil anything from Spider-Man, but just know that it's an amazing movie for anyone that hasn't had a chance to see it.
I feel like the more we talk about it, the more it's going to potentially come out that A, I'm clueless, or B, you're going to spoil something.
on Instagram, I was like, everyone, let me know your favorite moments from the movie. And I've had so many nice conversations with people over Instagram about it. And I was just so excited to talk about it. And I've been talking to Tim Rempel about it for days now. And I'm like, Tim, I can't get over this one part. And I keep telling him about it. I'm like, oh my God, that was my favorite part of the movie. And it was just a second, but I was like, that second meant so much to me.
How funny.
Anyway,
I loved it.
Yeah. But we are here not to talk about Spider-Man, but to talk about RunDisney.
Good, because my ability to talk about Spider-Man is done now. I've said all that I know to say.
I love it. But yes, we are here for RunDisney. Kristen actually has some really exciting news about the event guide for anyone that is either going to run in person for Marathon Weekend, or you might be spectating. So some exciting news. But before we get into our RunDisney chat, next week, we will go over the jokes from this week. We won't be doing that this week, or for next week, we'll do that, if that makes sense. Next week, we will be doing the jokes from this week. So stay tuned for more jokes next week, but we're going to hop in and do the chat. So Max, welcome. Samantha Lowe. Sam, I know you're running. I wonder what races you're running. Jeanette, hello. Christine Hickman. Hi, Tim. Welcome. Tim Rempel, hello. Christina, Mike Wheeler, hello. Thank you guys so much for being here. Karki Carol, hello. Karen Cook, hi Karen. I'm so happy that you're here live. Debbie, thanks for being here. Oh, My Disney Park Memory said, did you register for any of the springtime surprise runs in March and April? Kristen, that's a question for you too, I suppose. Did you, you did in person? No. Virtually?
No. So apparently the money tree that I planted in the backyard did not sprout fast enough.
Mine didn't either, actually.
Well, see, there you go. But what I did do is, and here's why I didn't do that. So the spring is very full for me as far as traveling to Disney goes. I've got Princess at the end of February. I'm back for not even 2 weeks before I then go back to Disney. We're taking a big family trip for spring break, spending an entire week there. I would get back from that and be home for, I think it ended up being about 9 days before I would then have to turn around and go right back for springtime surprise weekend. And if I did that, I would not have a job to come home to. And I quite love my job at the hospital. So I decided to sit that weekend out for this year. But what I did do is I signed up for the 10-miler virtual, like the virtual option, because
I did too.
I love those.
Yeah.
But, and here's why. If you have followed me for any length of time, you know that my absolute least favorite ride is Tower of Terror. And it's become somewhat of a running joke. That it's actually my favorite ride, which it is not.
But now it's a running joke.
And now it's literally a running joke. So I was like, well, I have to have that medal. I have to have a Tower of Terror medal. So I did sign up for that virtually, which I will run later on in the spring, but I will be sitting out the in-person one this year. Next year, though, I'm totally there.
Oh, yeah. I also did the same thing. I signed up for the 10-miler. I wasn't as interested in the 10K or if I was doing in person, I would have 100% have done the 5K because it's at night in Animal Kingdom. Like, what the heck? Yeah. But then if you were doing
it's a scavenger hunt, it's a scavenger
hunt. Races, like, could you imagine running at 10 o'clock and then having to get up at like 1:30?
Never mind. Nope.
That does not sound fun to me, but I am doing the 10-miler one virtually as well. Because I was like, I got to have that medal.
Same. I mean, I even have so I run in Dottie for Running Skirts a lot of the time. And she made a Tower of Terror themed one that has like the old timey, words are hard right now. Detailed work. It's like maroon and black, and then the band and the bow are that like gold color. And she was like, if there was ever a skirt that literally had your name on it, it's this one. So I'm like, okay, like I've had people make skirts for me that are Tower of Terror. I have to run it as much as I loathe that ride. So
I love it. And Growl Guy says, I bet that Tower of Terror run will have lots of ups and downs.
And here we thought there weren't going to be any jokes tonight.
No, of course not. Oh my gosh, wait, Pixie Dust Run. I did the virtual full 2 weeks ago for Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend.
What?
Congratulations.
Yay.
Wait, oh my gosh, I missed so many comments. I'm so sorry, guys. Wait. You guys are amazing. Hi, Nicholas. Welcome. Kit Stolberg, Anna. There's so many funny jokes here. Chris Dad Builds. Hello. If you want to fully understand it, you need to see 37 episodes of the cartoon series. Yeah, that's what Justin said. Hi, Joy. Hi, Mary. Hello. Hi, Avery. Welcome. Yeah, so yeah, that's amazing. Congratulations. That's so exciting.
That's wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's hard. It's really, if there's one thing I feel like I learned from this year, it is really hard to do a virtual marathon.
It is. Yes. Yep. I've never done one. I don't know that I have the mental capacity to do one and not just.
Oh, I know you do.
Nope.
I know you do. You're so strong. Oh my gosh.
So props to you. That's amazing.
You did the full marathon in 90-degree weather, so you could do anything.
I blocked that out. But yes, I did do that. There's video evidence.
I feel like, I don't know about you. I'm like, I can't remember the second half of that race.
I honestly cannot. In fact, Teresa, my running buddy, which, hi, if you're watching, she loves to tell the story that right as we were coming into mile, whatever it was, 18, I think it was, to get into Animal Kingdom. That was when I was still running with my gimbal and gimbal and GoPro. And in order to change the battery in the GoPro, you have to take it out of the gimbal, and it's attached to the gimbal with these little bitty screws. Like I dropped them, like replacing it being still. Imagine trying to like quickly walk while doing it. So she's ahead of me. And if y'all know me, I am like prim and proper and I don't swear. And all of a sudden she said she heard just like this string of expletives and she turned around and I was like literally in a fight with this gimbal. And she was like, that's when I knew that you had gone to another planet.
Yeah.
I don't remember doing that. Like, I don't remember that last half at all.
I feel like it was the last so 10K. Hot. It was just so hot. And I feel like I carried ice with me for like 10 miles, but I actually don't remember. And then I just remember finishing and then being like, what?
What just happened?
Yeah, I think I just blacked out. No, it was really hot for anyone else that was there. Yes, so I feel like every person that I had talked to after that, they're like, that was your first marathon. Every single marathon that you do after this one is going to be a piece of cake because
I'm banking on that for Dopey.
It was so hard. It was hard.
Yeah.
There's a few other people I see that jumped in. Hi, John. Hi, Yadi. Welcome. Oh, in 2020, it was very hot. Yeah, it was so hot. Oh my gosh, it was so hot that year. Movie Maniac, welcome. Thanks for being here. Yes, so congratulations, anyone doing the Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend races, whether it's a 5K, 10K, half, full, any of the challenges. It's really tough to do it virtually, but I know that so many people have so much motivation. Actually, we might do we'll have to ask Justin. I think we might do like an audio group for anyone that wants to talk on the Discord while you're doing. A lot of people had signed up to do the half marathon. So I think probably people will do that on the same day, but we'll see.
Virtually, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, fun. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's nice to do it with more than one person on virtually because it's hard. It's hard to do them virtually by yourself.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It is.
But I digress. We do have, so Justin and Joy are doing the half. I think Jeanette's doing the half too. There's a few people that signed up to do the half. But there are some brand new news for people that are spectating. Kristen actually has lots of really amazing, extended weather is mainly 80, 60 for the 4 races. So at least it's consistent.
But it's Florida, so that could change tomorrow, and it could then be freezing. And yeah,
January is very iffy with the weather. You never know.
That's why it's always safe to pack. If you're going to do one in January, it's always safe to pack cold weather options for your costumes as well as warm weather options, and then that way you're not like, well, it's 90 degrees and all I have are long tights and a thermal shirt.
Yep. That's a really great piece of advice though. And I think, I don't know if everyone knows this too. I definitely prefer cold runs because I live on the East Coast. So it's in January, like when it's 40 degrees out and I can run, it's like, yes. Going thrifting. I was just going to say,
Yes.
pick up some stuff from the thrift store. If you
Yes.
throw it on the side of the course, Disney will donate anything that you guys throw on the side of the course. So
Yeah.
whether it's things that are too big for you, things that are whatever, sweatpants, jackets, wear them in the beginning of the race. Know that you cannot take your Mylar with you. They will remind you of that.
Yes, they do. Carissa was like screaming it as we were going across the start line during Wine
You
and
do
Dine.
not take that with you.
Lose that Mylar. She was like, she meant business because it interferes with your start chip. So if you don't have a like start time, chip time, the chip is embedded in your race bib. If you don't have a start time, and then you don't have a, they don't know that you didn't just jump in the course at any point in time and cheat essentially. So it's just follow the rules. Just follow the rules.
Don't bring your Mylar across.
Don't bring your Mylar. Yeah. It's one of those rules. Like there is no day of race bid pickup. I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, definitely. Because just if anyone doesn't know that, you have to go at least one day before, at least. If you're doing all of the race, like so say for Dopey, if you're doing Dopey or the 5K in January, you have to be there on Wednesday. You have to. There's no other choice. If you're doing the 10K to go on Wednesday or Thursday. And then if you're doing the half, I mean, it's up to you, but you have to be there at least at the expo one day before to pick up your bib and your shirt and sign all your things away. Actually, they did that. That was something new. They did an online waiver that we signed before we even got there.
They did. And in the event that you were not a digital person, they did have blank waivers available that you could then fill out and turn in like in person. So if you're not savvy with the digital, or I know some people were going into like on their phones to sign the digital thing and like mistapped something on the page and it was like, thank you for opting out. You're like, wait, what? So like they didn't mean to do it, but if that happens, just know that there's like tangible like paper. There's paper at the expo that you can sign it and turn it in that way. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I actually had a lot of friends that were doing specifically the 5K or the 10K, and they all had problems with their digital waiver where like only one of them was able to sign it or whatever it was, but they all had to get the paper ones. But I just saw that Tina was here. Hi, Tina. But Tina's leaving too. So bye, Tina. Have a great evening.
Bye, Tina.
Adventures by D, thanks for being here. How did the pass work for Wine and Dine? Expo Pass or something, if my vlog watching memory is correct. Before, I know, Kristen, you also did all 3 races. I did all 3 races. Specifically for that, I had 2 different waivers. I had to sign one for the 5K and then one for the challenge. And so when I went into, they actually sent me an email and I just went through the email and I signed it digitally, like electronically. And then if you've also signed up someone else through your account, which I had done, it will then transfer that to that person's email, which I also heard that there was some issues with that. So
yes, there is, because I signed my friend Kristen, great name, up for Goofy. And the same thing when they released waivers for Marathon Weekend, it prompted me to input her email address so that it could then send her the link, and she never got it. And it took some emailing to RunDisney to get it kind of figured out, because if you've been with RunDisney for any amount of time, well, really Disney in general, you know that their IT is like top notch.
It is
not. It's horrible. So just expect for there to be, hiccups along the way. But so when you signed, Meg, yours probably looked like this. So when you signed your waiver, it made you do something. I'm gonna make you bigger. Oh, it's got yeah. And then that's what you showed them at the like the desk to like check in, because this is what signaled to them like, hey, they've signed their waiver, give them their bib. So
yeah, it basically has your name, your bib number, your shirt size. I can't remember
and what race.
What race you're going for. It was super easy. And as Kristen was alluding to, if that doesn't work out and you need to have a paper one, no worries at all. Just know that like not to worry if your waiver didn't work. I think the thing that I was most anxious about going into Wine and Dine was that they no longer provide you with your corral from the waiver.
Right.
And so that was something that I was very excited about, which is when I saw that I had my waiver, I was like, let me see what corral I'm in. But I'm not sure if it's different for marathon weekend, but that was not the case for Wine and Dine. Avery says, my favorite moment of No Way Home was definitely when Spider-Meg won the Dobie Challenge. Oops, no spoilers. I agree. That was the best part of the movie.
I might just stand up and cheer at that part.
Yeah, the whole theater.
I knew you could do it. It's not Miles that's waking up 4 consecutive mornings.
Yeah, just call I'm actually Miles Morales, and that's my name, Spider-Man. Because I run Miles and I do the Dobie Challenge. Oh, yeah. I'm seeing everyone saying, feel better, Mary. Mary, I hope you feel better. So, yes, I don't know if anyone else has any other questions about the process for the expo. But Kristen actually has some really amazing information about spectating locations, some things that RunDisney actually just put out for with the event guide for marathon weekend.
Yes. I'm checking out my cheat sheet. So if you or your loved one or your friends or whoever is running the half marathon or the full marathon, there is a way for you to see them at various points throughout property while they're on the course. And from experience, there is nothing more encouraging than seeing a familiar face cheering your name while you're in the middle of running potentially the most miles you've ever run in your life. So, in the event guide, you kind of have to dig to find it, but it's in the, I don't know, what is it? It's somebody in the chat. It's guide.rundisney.events. And that will pull up the digital event guide. And then once you get there, you can click on the reminders tab and then down to spectators. And that's where I'm getting all this information. So guide.rundisney.events. So for the half marathon, there's 2 primary locations that you can see your loved one. And that is the Magic Kingdom on Main Street, meaning they will let you in to Magic Kingdom on Main Street without a park ticket up until about 7:30 in the morning. 7:30 in the morning. It says here that Magic Kingdom will open at 5:15 and they will let you stay till about 7:30. Now, historically, they will let you up almost to the founder statue, kind of right as you come up Main Street. You've got Casey's there on your left, and then it makes it kind of does this number, and you've got the founder statue in the middle. They'll let you go kind of around and in front of the front part of the founder statue. And then they'll block you off from going any further into the park. And you can cheer there. It's a great place to be. I mean, how magical is that you're standing on Main Street, watching people run by? It's so spectacular. Another place that you can see people is at the Ticket and Transportation Center. The way that you get there is you will go with your friend or loved one to the start area and then hop on the monorail, go to the TTC, hang out there for a few if you want to, which is what I will do because surprise, I'll be there. So exciting. And then you will hop the monorail one more time over to the Magic Kingdom and back. So really, if you want to stay kind of along that monorail line for the half, you are golden to see people. So, which I think is so, I love that you can, they'll let you in on Main Street before the park even opens. So it's, so that is that one. And then for the, let's see, I'm cheating. I'm reading off of the thing over here.
Hi, Alyssa and Neil. Hi, Karina. Welcome.
So for the marathon, there are several places to see people, but the most convenient are going to be the same as it was for the half marathon, just staying on that monorail line. That way you can kind of get to and from pretty easily. There's, for the marathon, you run through all 4 parks, but you're not in Animal Kingdom for very long, and you're not in Hollywood Studios for literally, you blink and you're out of there.
Yeah, you run down Hollywood. You run down, was it Sunset Boulevard, and then you're you're out.
Yes. In fact, it's got on this, if whenever y'all look later, it tells you exactly. It says mile 23.1 to 23.3 is Disney's Hollywood Studios.
0.2 of a mile.
That's not even a lap around a track. Because a lap around a track.
A good 0.2 with the Tower of Terror in the background. Get some good photos.
I mean, that's fine and all, but it's not. It's so what I'm saying is unless you have easy access to Hollywood Studios, it's honestly not worth the effort to get out there to see somebody for 0.2 of a mile. Versus if you are in the World Showcase, then you can see them for a long period of time. You can see a lot of people, or Main Street, or even the boardwalk if you're able to get out there. So there's a lot of places to view and to spectate. And if you can get in there before, especially Magic Kingdom, before 7:30, you do not have to have a park ticket or a reservation to do that. That's like the biggest question that I've gotten over on Instagram is, well, I want to go see so-and-so on Main Street, but I have a park reservation for Epcot later. I don't want to change that. Well, the good news is you don't have to. You can get on Main Street before, it says 7:30 is the cutoff. So what I imagine is they'll probably do what they've done in the past, like with the holiday parties, and they'll have those like sweeper people that are coming through the crowd and, either scanning or, honor system of should you be here or should you not kind of thing. And then they'll ask you to leave then. But go if you want to see what that looks like, go to any of my Princess Half Marathon videos, marathon weekend, half marathon, and full marathon, and you'll see what running up Main Street looks like and how absolutely invigorating it is to be there and have people like sometimes 10, 12 people deep, cheering for you. It's just amazing. It's so much fun.
So I know that last time we spent, a few minutes talking about the importance of having the spectators and having people there to cheer on the runners. And in your experience, are there like specific spots that really motivated you, or what would you specifically recommend? Because I know in my experience, there were certain miles that I was absolutely dreading, especially for the marathon. But then knowing that my mom or my dad were going to be somewhere along the course, I was like, I just have to get to this mile. So were there any points like that along the course for you that you would recommend?
Gosh, well, sentimental Casey's, which we talked about last time, how my parents surprised me there. I had no idea they were going to be there, and then lo and behold, here they are in front of Casey's. So that was special. But I think it wasn't necessarily a particular mile; it was a particular park. Because once you get, and you can probably bear witness to this too, once you get to a certain point, it's a mind game at that, it's like, okay. And that was how it was for me. We ran the long highway stretches, the first half of the marathon. And once we got into Animal Kingdom and then moved into Studios and then into Epcot, we were done. And so it just became okay, I've got another 5K before I get to Animal Kingdom. Then I've got another 5K before Studios. So knowing that somebody is waiting for you. I knew that our friend Cherie was waiting for us at the International Gateway in Epcot. So I knew Teresa and I were like, we have to get to the International Gateway. Yeah. After that, we can crawl if we need to, but we have to get there because we know that's where Cherie was. And we knew that she had big old cups of ice waiting for us because it was just so hot. But it's, if there's a particular mile that is difficult for you, let your friends and family know that. That way they can try to be as close to that mile as possible. Some of the miles it's going to be impossible for spectators to be at. So it would be, would you be okay seeing them before that or maybe a little bit after? Or is there a park that you love and you would have no better memory than seeing, your friends and family there? It's, it's whatever is important to you and what'll help push you to get to the finish line, because it's
definitely
there. It doesn't move. I could have sworn it picked itself up and moved a couple of times.
Further away from where I was.
Yes, not anywhere near where I was. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, for anyone that does any sport or any long distance event, you could attest to it being, it's a mental game when it comes down to it. I mean, your mind is such a powerful thing, especially when it comes to these events, especially if you're doing any of the challenges.
Yep.
It's getting up, doing it, making sure that you're taking care of your body. And those long highway stretches, you really have to be mentally prepared for them, because you don't really have many spectators on the side of the highway.
No.
You might have cars passing you somewhere. Oh, no worries.
And they'll honk sometimes.
You sometimes might get lucky with one of the medical staff on a bike near you, or you might see other people along the way, but typically you don't have like family, friends cheering. The full marathon is definitely, that is a mental game. I feel like part of why I blocked off the second half of the race is because I'm just like, I just need, like, I put myself in this mindset of like, it is 90 degrees out and I'm so hot and my legs hurt. And after doing this many miles the whole weekend, I was like, I just got to finish. And I think I just like literally blocked out the second half of the race and I just got to the finish line. I was like,
well, like we talked about last time, Teresa and I got to the point where we were like, if we had quit running our intervals because we were both spent. We couldn't do it anymore. Like, I could not make my feet move faster than like a shuffle. But we were in the place where we both were like, if we stop to say hi to anybody, if we stop movement, we will not start again. So that was like when we got to Cherie at the International Gateway. She had 2 cups of ice like this, and we just walked past and grabbed as we went, because we were like, I can't stop. I can't stop.
That's how I feel during a lot of my races, especially these virtual ones. I'm like, I cannot stop. If I stop, I won't keep going. Dapper Connect, you have to be mental to run a marathon. Yep, exactly. Growl Guy says I can do the full, as this is my 7th. Well, congratulations, but that wake up time for the bus, 5 a.m. start, is definitely different.
Oh my gosh, it's awful.
Oh yeah, 20 miles. Once you hit 20 miles, that last 10K is, oof, that's rough. It's really rough.
It is.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really exciting things, because marathon weekend is actually per its name, it's the only running weekend with a full marathon. And for, people that are like to do the challenges, like, most of us do. Hey, Disney nerd, welcome. You have to do a lot of running on those weekends. And if you're doing Goofy, that's what, 39.3 and
39.3.
Yeah. And if you're doing Dopey, it's 48.6.
48.6.
Oh, Neville Land said they had you sign the waiver for springtime immediately, like confirmation email file followed by their waiver email. Interesting. Wow, I didn't know that.
Well, there's something new I learned today.
Yeah, I love it.
I guess because I didn't sign up, I didn't know that.
In person. Yeah. I feel like with COVID, there's a lot of different rules that didn't necessarily apply before. We can also talk about that too. There are definitely some challenges with the COVID. I've heard the ESPN part of the full was brutal. I'm glad to be in a parking lot of Blizzard Beach instead. Yeah, actually, my one of my older brothers did the full marathon back in, I think, 2014 or 2013. It was many years ago. But he did the ESPN part, and it was just, I've heard from every person that ever ran that course that it was brutal.
That was the one that I've heard. We've talked about a mind game. That was the one that I've heard people complain about, the mind game portion the most, because you're running like the baseball diamond and all this stuff. And the way that ESPN is laid out, if you were towards the back of the pack, which, let's be honest, I was, and like there were points where you could be looping around the track and look over across the fence line and see the balloon ladies, and nothing will put you into a panic mode more than seeing those sweet little ladies with balloons tied to their waist. Because you know that your miles are numbered at that point. And I don't know what miles was that usually, because I never ran that one.
I think it was like 18 or something.
So it was the moment that I checked out to another planet during the 2021. Yeah, I left Earth at mile 18.
I'm pretty sure I did too. I'm pretty sure I was like, let's just finish this.
I don't know where I went, but I wasn't present anymore.
But I did. Funny enough, though, I did stop to meet a whole bunch of characters in that second half of the race. I
So
was
did
like,
I.
screw it. If I'm going to get picked up, I'm going to get picked up, and I'm going to meet all these characters along the way.
There's a picture of me and Pluto. So Pluto's my favorite. I will, if I ever get it, I don't have any tattoos, but if I ever did, it would probably be of Pluto, a very large one. Anyway, there's a picture of me and Pluto outside of the ESPN restaurant thing on the boardwalk.
Yeah, I got the same picture.
I have no memory of taking that picture. It just like showed up in my memory maker, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool.
That's
I don't remember taking that."
I have to say, one of my biggest disappointments from that race, though, is with that was the year that they cut the course due to the heat. They had red flagged it. So they have a scale of like different flags for conditions, and they did red flag the course. I believe I ran into you like very shortly after that happened.
Yeah.
But I have to say, the one thing I was so disappointed in is that similar to you, that was also my first marathon, and I did it by myself, and that was really challenging to do that, and then for it to be a part of Dopey. But then I didn't get my picture crossing the finish line because they didn't capture it, or the photo got lost, or whatever.
What?
So I never got my picture of me crossing my finish line for my first marathon. And so I'm so happy that I have like video evidence that I crossed the finish line, because I was just devastated.
Well, okay. So funny story. My picture that showed up in my, like the memory, the photo pass, I got Mike Wazowski by like a pint of beer. Because the person in front of me was like holding it up like cheers, and it completely like perfectly covered my face.
Oh my God.
So I had posted it on Instagram, and somebody recognized the other people in the picture. And so I was able to get a more, I'm still partly covered, but not like Mike Wazowski down my face with the Pilsner of beer. But yeah. And then
that's hilarious.
That was also I'm like sitting here playing because I have the medal with me.
Wait, why don't you talk about that medal?
Yeah, this is the marathon medal right there. See?
Yeah.
Isn't she lovely?
And it's a spinner.
It is a spinner. See, check that out. So we got our main gal, and then our main guy. So I was in Magic Kingdom after I can't remember if it was the evening after the next day. Anyway, I was there with Gerald Resnick and Karen, and we were taking medal pictures. And I was standing in front of the founder statue, and I had my Goofy medals. So I had this one, the half, and then the Goofy medal, and I had them stacked. And I was doing the Instagram like pose.
Oh yeah.
Do you know where I'm going with this? Do you remember this picture? Yeah.
I don't remember it, but I know these Instagram poses. I do them too.
Well, this is the reason that I became very aware of where I am in other people's pictures, because right in the crook of my elbow right here is a woman bent over in very short denim shorts.
It was just the perfect timing.
Cheeks. That's all it was. And it was a really good picture. And it was just ruined by the fact that I had like perfectly framed this woman's butt in my sassy Instagram posts. So again, because the internet is amazing, I sent it to a couple people, and they were able to like Photoshop out that and make it look like it was just,
That's amazing.
it was. But I was like, hey, but.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Wait, Jeanette, you still haven't gotten your medal from Wine and Dine? I'm so sorry. That's crazy. For our friends that have done the virtual runs, I know that Joy and Justin got their medal too. Actually, it's really interesting. I wonder, at least I know in the past, they've given the hats for the full marathon, the Mickey hats. Yeah. So I'm guessing that they're probably going to do that again, but I don't think that they would do that for the virtual races.
I'm going to be really jealous of that hat, because it's going to be iridescent and beautiful. So.
I know, right?
And I'm not even a hat person.
I know. So. I just display it. I'm like, look
I do too.
This.
Beautiful. It's hanging over the corner of one of my mirrors in my bedroom. So, yeah.
I love it. My brother was like, "Wait, I didn't get a hat. I feel gypped." Like, for anyone that did the
Sorry.
marathon, I think they started, like, the year after he did his, or, like, 2 years maybe. He's like, "What the heck? Like, where's my hat?" Hey, Stacy, welcome. Yeah, so there's, some pretty exciting stuff happening, next week for marathon weekend. I can't believe
Yes.
it's here. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Are any of y'all watching? Are you going to be there?
Yeah, I think oh,
Because
no, I
I
think
will be there.
Justin says, "Best part of the virtual, no unexpected butts in my photos."
I
Yeah,
feel like I need to go back and find that and show you.
you never
I
know.
will. Let me
The the
let me
Run
take a
Disney
deep dive.
pictures are the best though, because you get so many other people in them. It's a hit or miss, right? So
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
some really, really I'm sure I'm making hilarious expressions in other people's, video or pictures as well,
yeah.
but my mom and I did the half marathon. It was her first half marathon for Wine and Dine. I was so excited that she did it with me. Oh, Neville Land is running the 10K for marathon weekend.
Oh, that's
Congratulations.
awesome. That's
Awesome.
on Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Friday. I get there Friday morning, so
Scott's gonna be there just after that. That's a bummer. I feel like, one of the most motivational things for me to, like, start running or, like, decide that I was gonna run the marathon
I
was
found it.
watching people, oh my gosh, watching people run the full marathon at the very end in Epcot. I think I talked about this last time, but if
Yeah.
you guys have the opportunity to see people finishing a marathon, like,
Yes.
holy cow, does
Like,
that make
sit
you
there
just
and
wanna
tell me that that
cry?
doesn't change you. Yeah.
No, it does. It changed my
Yeah.
entire life. I
Yeah.
mean, oh, the hat started in 2018. Oh, that's a bummer. Um, I could have sworn it was like the year or 2 after he had run his marathon, because he was like, "Wait, what? You got a hat?" Like, "I did." But it does. It changes your life watching other people finish and accomplish their dreams. And I want to quickly reflect back on one thing you said, Kristen, before you show the picture. Just because I remember you were saying about ESPN and seeing the balloon ladies and, like, being towards the back of the race.
Mhm.
When I decided to start getting into long distance running, I had never done more than a 10K before. And I signed up for a local half marathon. It was my first half marathon. And my dad did it with me. It was his first half marathon. We trained together. It was really amazing. And that was one of the fastest races I had ever run, because I had trained so much for it. And it was in preparation for me doing my Adobe challenge. But
Mhm.
I said to him, "I don't want to go anywhere near the front start for the starting." We didn't have any corrals or anything like that, because there was, like, not a lot of people there. But we were 2 of the last 4 or 5 people to cross the finish, the starting line, because I said I want to start in the back. And then we ended up running, like, you pretty much run like 6.5 miles down and 6.5 miles back. Like,
Mhm.
part of it's on the beach, or like along the boardwalk near the beach, along the water. And it was just absolutely beautiful. But as you were doing that turnaround, I was at like mile 4 and people were already at like mile 10. I was like, oh my God, like, I'm the
Yeah.
worst runner ever. But I just want to reiterate, like, if you are back there and you see other people that are passing you or that are so far ahead of you, because there are switchbacks in the Run Disney races, that you might see other people that are really far ahead of you. Do not get discouraged, because you are there for a reason. You are
Yep.
doing amazing, and don't let anyone discourage you on your journey to running these races, because you're the only person that could get in your way.
Right.
If you tell yourself, like, I remember being like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so slow, like, I'm never gonna finish this." Don't start that with yourself. So, yeah, never
Yes.
compare. Comparing is, like, the worst thing that you could do. Um,
Comparison is the thief of joy. Yeah.
yeah. So, Girl Guy said, "Any tips for mask carrying? Heard they have them for bus riders, but rather use my own and not be out of luck if they run out before."
Yeah.
I've only brought my own masks.
Yeah, I brought my own, and I, like most distance runners, wear a, like, fanny pack, for lack of a better
Yeah,
term.
I wear
Um,
one.
but know that, you sweat and you will sweat into that. I know it's disgusting, but we all do it. So what I did is I brought a Ziploc bag that I had a couple extra ones in. That way I knew that if my pack got sweaty, then the mask was still was still good. So
especially because it rained on the 5K and the 10K. I
yes.
was like, it is inevitable that one of these will get destroyed.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I do that for most of my days at Disney. I'll bring extra Ziploc bags or plastic bags. I'll throw things in there and oh, probably baggie it then. Yeah. Well, yeah, if you I don't know, it's definitely tough to navigate the masks while, like, especially with this new variant. I mean, for the 5K, I wore my mask the entire time. For the 10K, I did it on and off depending on how many people were around me, and same thing with the half marathon. But in the corrals, I wore my mask the entire time. So it's, I guess, up to you and your comfortability
Right.
or
Yeah.
level of comfort. But I would just have several prepared in terms of having extras. That's all I could say, I guess.
Yeah. Always pack. Be prepared for more than you think you'll need, because I would personally, I'm sure you're the same way. I would rather have more than I needed than not enough.
That's like running socks for me. I always have to have
Yes.
extra socks. I'm like, I never know when I'm gonna need an extra
And
pair
let
of
me
running
tell
socks.
you, when I went ankle deep in that puddle in that poison apple costume, I wished I had some dry socks.
Oh my goodness.
It was awful.
Oh, Patrick's here. Hi, Patrick. He said, one of my top 10 favorite moments at Disney was running my first Disney race. Patrick is also a RunDisney veteran. He's started doing RunDisney way before me, so he is
amazing.
So much cooler than I am.
Same.
I love it. Okay, so we got to see this picture now.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I got to zoom it back in so you can see it in all its glory.
Yes, let's see it. Stop.
Do you see that?
That is quite the shot.
Ain't it though?
Oh my gosh. What a memory.
That's really what it is. Also, RIP the original painting of the castle.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
oh my gosh. It looks so dull now with that.
I know. When I first saw it, I was like, wait, that's it.
What's
yep,
wrong
it
with
is. It sure is.
I think one of my favorite things about doing RunDisney is getting the medals and being able to take all the pictures. Growl Guy says that's an anti-magic shot.
Yeah.
It's like someone photoshopped that in right there for you.
Well, it's the gift that keeps on giving. So
I love it.
I laugh every time I see it because it's a good picture.
It is.
Outside of, that.
Oh my gosh, Patrick sent a 99-cent banana peel super sticker. Patrick, you're so funny. Patrick, you're the best. Guys, I really miss Patrick streaming. He's such an amazing friend. I would promote his channel more, but he's been taking a break and doing some really fun stuff. But I just can't reiterate how incredible of a friend he is. Like, he's one of my best friends. So Patrick, thank you. You're amazing. He's my family. Yes, posing with the medals are fun. They're like that's like why I run, to get the bling and to take pictures with my medals. Because what I have done is, for these virtual races, which I know other people have done, is I have brought them with me down to Florida, and I have taken those pictures, which are really important to me. Because when I look back at them, I'm like, I'm so proud of myself for doing these. And I think, I mean, money aside, like, I feel so much pride when I do these, and I'm sure, Kristen, you probably feel the same way, or everyone that runs these. Like, when you look back on it, you're like, wow, I can't believe I did that. Like, sometimes, I mean, for anyone else that has, chronic health issues or chronic illnesses, chronic disability, whatever, like, sometimes I can't walk a quarter of a mile, but then I'm like, holy cow, how have I done 4 full marathons? Right. Yep. And it's just a reminder, at least it's a reminder to myself that I'm like, anything is possible.
Yeah.
If I set my mind to something, I can make it happen. So.
Yep. Yeah. Well, one thing that I wanted to talk about, because I was getting some DMs on Instagram about it, was staying on property versus staying off property for race weekends. Because from experience, when I finally decided that I was going to be a marathon weekend, you know, us Disney vets are like, let's go see what's on property. And when I did that, I could stay nowhere for less than about 1,800 a night. And
Yep.
like I said, the tree didn't sprout out in the back. So I wasn't doing that. And a lot of people can't necessarily afford to stay. Like for Dopey, you're there the week. Like most people will get in on Tuesday and stay through to the following Monday night or Tuesday. So you have to then weigh how you're going to get to the start lines. If you stay on property, there is transportation. Even some of the Good Neighbor hotels around Disney Springs, they will provide race transportation. But if you don't, and you stay in an Airbnb like I am next week, which is crazy to think that it's next week. So I'm so excited. Anyway, you have to take that into consideration. How am I going to get to? Am I going to rent a car? Because then I got to factor that into the cost. And once you start factoring in all of that, then you really have to sit with an Excel sheet, if you will, and look at the price breakdown. Like, is the addition of the rental car, is the addition of all of this extra stuff worth the little bit that you might save by staying off versus on, if that makes sense. So
totally.
That's a lot to type, but not a whole lot to say.
No, I totally feel that because I have done both experiences of staying. For my Dopey challenge, I did the first for the 5K, the 10K, and the half. I believe I stayed off property, and I was there a day or two before, and we had rented a car, and then we ended up moving over to the Dolphin just out of convenience for the starting line, which was at that time at Epcot for the full marathon. And they actually had a rental car drop off there. So we were able to do that. But nice. Here's the thing too, is that when you are driving to these races, there are lots of road closures, lots of traffic. If you are someone that's local there, you probably know the roads a lot better than us tourists, but you got to leave at least like an hour and a half before the race starts. Like, you got to get there because you also have to park your car. And it takes a lot. Like, I just remember seeing the lines of traffic just to get into Epcot. It does make it slightly less stressful, I believe, to stay on Disney property because they do provide transportation. They'll make sure that you get on. I mean, I was always there whenever I was able to get on the bus, like on the bus, because my biggest like nightmare, I feel like, for any of these races is to miss the start. But you still see people like trickling in, like, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes.
I don't know how you can live your life that much on the edge.
No. Like,
no.
For the 10K, I saw this woman coming in with a bag over her head, and I was in the last corral. Right?
It was me.
There was only like, I don't know, maybe like 150 people behind me. And here she was just like strolling up, waiting for her friend to come. I'm like, oh my gosh, like the race started 30 minutes ago.
I wish I could be that carefree and not really, right?
But that's my biggest fear as someone who does the challenges or who pays I pay so much money for these races. Like, I do not want to miss them. So I think that it while it might be cheaper to stay off property, especially now, like with all the rental car price surges, like I'm not really sure what the economic sense is for that. Because it can be quite expensive to rent a car for that time. I think if you get a good deal, then it's definitely worth it. But then you can also think about, like, you get to cook your own meals. If you're staying off property and you're staying at like a place where you could get, you could typically get like a 1-bedroom, like full kitchen place for pretty inexpensive.
Yeah. And the place that I'm staying next week is like right off of Disney Springs. It's Teresa and I and our friend Tara are staying there. It's a 2-bedroom. I forget how many. I think it's a 1.5 bath. Anyway, plenty of room, bigger than a hotel room. And it was $75 a night.
Yeah. And then if you're splitting it with other people, like,
exactly,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then one thing I love about, I mean, if anyone else is like me when it comes to races, like, I'm very particular about what I eat, you don't want to eat anything new the night before. You don't want to try anything new a
Oh,
couple days before.
live a little.
I'm like, I cannot, because my stomach is so sensitive.
Go drink your way around the world the night before the marathon and let me know how that turns out.
That would be lots of fun, I'm sure.
No.
but just know that that's an option if you want to stay off property. You can definitely rent a car. I would suggest figuring out the road closures, because the courses do change over the years. So you never know what the road closures are going to be, but they do give you some heads up of what that might look like. But I found both experiences to be pretty nice. Mostly because I was not the one driving myself to the races. My mom got up every morning with me and drove me to the races. So while I was like freaking out in the car, like I'm going to have to run this many miles or like whatever, she was driving me. And so I could freak out and not worry about it. But it was definitely less stressful knowing that the Disney buses were going to take me to the exact place where I needed to be dropped off. And that's kind of reassuring, knowing that you're probably already pretty nervous going into a race. I get very nervous going into a race. No matter how many I do, it's just like excitement, anxiousness, nervousness. I think that'll always be how I feel. But yeah, those are some really important things to talk about, just because it gets really expensive around race weekends, which, I mean, I know we kind of talked about this last time, but it's a race vacation and it's very expensive. It's very, very expensive.
And if you haven't done any of these, especially the challenges, the challenges like in and of themselves, the thing is if you're doing Dopey, so that's the 5K, 10K, half and full. Say you get caught in a traffic jam or whatever, and you miss the 10K. Okay, well, you're out of Dopey, because you have to complete all of them.
Yep.
So that's why a lot of your Dopey runners will be on property to eliminate that. I mean, there's going to be traffic. I remember for the marathon, was it Marathon or Princess? Either way, there was an accident or something in like the bus lane, because somebody thought they could jump over into the bus lane. And it got to the point where there were people like begging the bus driver to just open the door.
Yeah, to let us out. I remember that.
Yes, because we could have walked there faster than we were. Granted, it was swamp, and I like to live on the wild side, but not that wild. So, but just it's one of those things where you have to weigh what's better for you. Like if you can handle that kind of stress, and tell me how you do it, because I can't. So, yeah,
I totally agree. I mean, I think if I could give another piece of advice that I feel like I learned the hard way, please stay in your hotel one extra night after your race is finished, because what happened for me, Justin, there's Princess Half Marathon weekend in February. That's
whole other, it's a whole different race weekend.
A whole nother race weekend.
Whole lot of estrogen.
Lots of princess stuff. But what happened to me is that I finished the race. We asked for a late checkout, and I had probably about a half hour, 45 minutes after completing my marathon to pack up my stuff, take an ice bath, and then get in the Uber to go to another hotel. So that was the most stressful part of that entire day for me, was not just finishing the marathon, however hot it was, but it was then getting back to the hotel to pack up my suitcase to then leave the hotel. And so I would highly, highly suggest that if you're running the marathon, or if you're running a half marathon and you know that your body is going to need a lot of time to recover. I mean, I feel like at this point I could pretty much do a half marathon and my body feel pretty fine, like later in the day or the next day or whatever, like I could go about doing normal things. But after a marathon, like, my legs are pretty tired, and the next day or maybe a couple days after that, I need a little bit of time to recover. Like I can walk around, but I'm not going to go around and like run a bajillion miles again. Because now I know how my body works, but it's not fun to like pack up your suitcase and then go to another hotel within like an hour of you finishing a marathon. So
no, there was a woman that recognized me on the course, Princess of 20, and stopped and said hello. Well, not stopped, but like slowed, and we kind of walked together for a minute or two. And she was like, I'm so excited to see you. This has like made my race and, you know, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And we were just kind of making small talk. And it came up that she like looked at her watch and she goes, well, I need to like really hoof it now to the end because my flight leaves in about 3.5 hours. I was like,
That's even worse.
you're nuts. Like, go.
That is even worse
Like,
than
don't
what I did.
I mean, if that's the sacrifice that you have to make to be able to do one of them, then so be it. But if you can at all, don't leave until Monday.
No, I definitely, we actually ended up staying until Tuesday as well. But I mean, for anyone that knows, the Swan and Dolphin can be quite pricey, and we couldn't stay there for more than you know the night that I needed it for, and we ended up moving to the All-Star Sports, which was like it's such a different experience than being at the Dolphin. But when I got there, I was like, just get me some food, please. I just like want to lay down.
Yeah.
Because it was so stressful to get from that. I can't imagine running to like make a flight. I would be so stressed.
And at that point, you're like, you're gonna be sans shower, and that's disgusting. So
yeah. The hardcore marathoners actually don't even fly to Disney. They just run.
That's not wrong. That's not wrong.
No. Jeanette, I'm so sorry. She said, I looked on the RunDisney Facebook page and many half marathoners didn't get their medals yet either. Maybe the 10K went out, but not the half. Well, I hope that it goes out pretty soon.
Yeah, they tend to send them out race like distance by distance. So yeah.
I know that they typically do it within about a month or a month and a half or so after the race weekend. So I hope that fingers crossed, they come soon.
Somebody asked me where this place was that I'm staying, and I'm looking. Teresa booked it under her account, so it's not saved in mine. But anyway, if I find it, I will let you know.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I feel like we for this past race weekend, we stayed at All-Star Movies, and we actually booked the trip way farther in advance before they even right. Bless you, Justin, right?
Sorry, that was
no, that's okay.
They said bless you.
I think that's someone sneezing in the background.
I'm a ventriloquist and I can sneeze without.
Oh, Jeanette got aftershocks for Christmas. That's so
Yay!
Cool.
You're gonna love
I feel like
them.
we'll have to do a whole separate stream or video about gear, because that's the question actually that I get the most is about some of the gear stuff that I use while I run. Book early. Yes, that's what I was saying. I actually booked before they even announced the race weekend, because we were going for my birthday, and it just so happened that my birthday landed within the weekend of the race. So my birthday was the expo day. So we ended up going on the expo on my birthday. I already had my trip booked, so we were able to thankfully have a pretty good price on our hotel.
And honestly, if you even remotely think that you want to try to run like Wine and Dine like in November, go ahead and book it now. Because if you book it as a package, then the package being like your room and tickets, theme park tickets, all that's due is the $200 to save the room, and then your balance is due, I think it's 30 to 40 days prior to travel. And then if you change your mind, well, guess what? You get your $200 back. So if you're like me and you're an annual pass holder and you can't book a package because you already have the tickets, then it's just one night to hold the room. So, and if you're booking it like a place like All Stars, that could be even cheaper than the 200 because you're so far out from that date. So that's my biggest tip too, is if you're even remotely thinking about doing this, then it would save you a lot of money and a lot of, crap. I can't stay anywhere for $1,800 a night, to just go ahead and do it now.
And I think that brings up a really good point. I want to talk about this one thing because I see the time now. I can't believe that we're already past 10 o'clock, at least for me. But the fact that, Kristen, I think we might have brought it up the last time, but next year for Marathon Weekend are some anniversary years. So I believe that weekend's going to be fairly busy, pretty popular. It is the 30th anniversary for the marathon, and then the 10th anniversary of the Dopey Challenge, right?
I think it's more than 10.
Oh my goodness.
It may be 15, but it is. So it's an anniversary year this year for the half marathon.
Yeah.
23 it is for Dopey and the marathon together. So,
wow.
I can't remember what it would be. I don't know. Maybe I know it's 30 for the marathon.
Yeah.
It may be 15 or 20 for Dopey.
Wow. I thought it was only 10 years because I remember,
I don't know.
I remember talking to this woman who was a perfect Dopey. And that's also something that we can talk about on another, 10 for Dopey. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because there's this woman that I was talking to and she had done all the Dopey challenges, like from the inaugural one, like when you have completed, like, so for Wine and Dine, they have the 2-course challenge. For, marathon weekend, they have Goofy, they have Dopey, and then they have perfect Dopies or perfect Goofies or like whatever for people that have completed all of them.
Like since the dawn of creation,
yeah.
You've completed.
And then there's the people that have done all of them. It's like insane. Yeah. It's so cool though. So they get special things at the end of their races, like when you do get your medals. But I think that's important to say, just because I do believe that next year, the half marathon's pretty cool. I feel like an anniversary year for
any anniversary year that you get to run anything is pretty cool. So
I know, right?
Yeah.
Especially this year with the medals being so beautiful. I'm so excited to get mine.
I hope that theme, the iridescent theme, bleeds over, for lack of a better term, into the 23 medals, because
it should though, because they're still celebrating the 50th. Right?
Exactly, they would celebrate it up until about May, I thought. So but you mentioned the special thing for the perfects, the lanyard that the medal comes on is different. It'll say perfect and it's a different color. So that's how you're amongst royalty, is there'll be a different
and I am not one of those people.
I am not either. So
I can't fathom the amount of money that people have spent on doing 10 Dopey challenges.
It's crazy.
That's a lot of money, my friends. But anyway, it was so much fun to talk about RunDisney. I feel like this went by so fast.
Yes, it did.
Anytime I feel like I talk about RunDisney or pins, it goes by like boom. Over. Hey, Jeff and Ange. So maybe we'll have to do another part. We could talk about gear and some other things, but I think
because I love my aftershocks. I love them.
Me too. Those like anyone. I'm like, anyone need any new headphones or anything like that? Get those, because they're like literally the best.
Yes.
Because I actually I have this piercing inside of my ear that I can't even wear like normal earbuds anymore because of that. So they're literally the perfect thing. They're so safe. Because if you're running outside, which is, I feel like typically what most of us do, you can hear literally everything around you. And then
because they hook over, shameless plug. I'm one of their brand reps, but
oh my gosh.
Yeah. They sit over, they're bone conducting. And so what that means is you've got bones right here. Everybody's got them right here. And they sit bone is a good conductor of sound, FYI. And so what they do is they pipe in the sound right to this bone, and then it conducts, hence bone conduction, to the bones of the middle ear, which is how we hear things. So you've got the like outside noise still available that you can hear for safety reasons, but you're also getting crystal clear sound. It blows your mind the first time you put it on, because you're like, there is no way.
And also
it's amazing.
So cool is Jeanette brought up a really good point of like your ears hurt after listening to like earbuds for so long. My ears never hurt from these, like ever. No. Sometimes I forget that I have them on. Like today I was wearing them around as I was listening to an audiobook, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that I had them on.
Yeah. And the technology is so cool. And they were developed here in Austin. Hey.
Oh my gosh. Wait, that's so cool.
So it's go to their website, and it's it explains all the science behind it, but that's So
like literally every person, I'm like, just get those. And I'm not even a brand rep. I just really love them. So
they're
I think
amazing.
there's definitely a lot of things that like they're Belega socks I'm obsessed with. Those are my favorite socks. There's just like a lot of things that are important to me as I train and run. So I feel like
I'm not as flexible as I used to be, but I'm wearing Belegas.
I love that. Oh my God.
That hurt real bad, but only for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Just know that I guess this is not sponsored by anyone, but apparently
not sponsored.
Not sponsored. But I would love to be if anyone from Belega is watching or Aftershock,
Yes.
like whatever. I don't mind. I love your stuff. But there's a lot of really amazing running gear that you guys can use that I personally have found to be really really wonderful. But Kristen, before we head out, I would love to hear what's happening on your channel, your Instagram. I mean, congratulations on 10,000 followers on Instagram.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thanks.
wow.
What's happening on my channel is a whole lot of nada right now. It's been no, December has been crazy. Like ever since we got back from Wine and Dine with, so I work in a hospital. We are one of the primary COVID facilities in this area. So we're in the middle of a spike. So things have been very, very crazy. And I just, if you're a content creator, you know, there comes a point where you're like, okay, you're in like survival mode and things just fall to the wayside that don't, that you just can't do. And I've been trying to edit that Animal Kingdom video that I mentioned the last stream. I've been trying to edit that since we last talked about it, and it's not done. So, you know, I went back to like 1998 and got a paper planner and am like writing things down now because I feel like that's for me. I do better if I have a schedule written out and I know what I need to get done by what time. And, you know, yes, this is all fine and good for doing those things. But for me personally, I do better with a paper planner. So, but we'll be doing videos again, especially spectating the half and full. Also going to head out to the expo on the last day. I did a what's left at the expo on the last day for Princess, which was really, really fun because a lot of people are like, well, what's left on the last day? Because it's such a madhouse every other day, you know? So I'll be doing a what's left at the Marathon Weekend Expo on the last day, which I'm really excited about. And, yeah, what do people talk like? It was like last year, right?
Right. Like 2005 was just like the other day, right?
Yeah, that's like the year after I graduated high school. Cool. Anyway, showing my age now, but anyway, so that's what's coming up on my channel. Looking forward to next year and starting to dopey train. So that'll be a series that I'll have coming up. Doing a few more races here locally. One of my favorites, the Bluebell Fun Run. Bluebell is an ice cream brand that is just amazing. So their like headquarters is not that far from me. So they do a fun run every year that ends at the creamery and you can go eat ice cream and it's really fun. So
amazing.
It's so fun. So yeah, and just continuing to have a blast over on Instagram. I've discovered Reels. So you're welcome for all of those.
It's like Instagram, TikTok. I don't understand the difference between
I don't either.
Reels and videos and then Instagram posts. Like I just sometimes I'll just post it. I'm like, what does this mean?
And then I got a notification that was like, congratulations, you're monetized on Instagram for Reels. And I was like,
what?
Cool. Awesome.
That's pretty awesome. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I don't know where they're gonna pay me and that kind of thing, but I was like, all right, cool.
And Bluebell ice cream.
And Bluebell ice cream bucks. And I will readily accept those.
I love that. That sounds amazing. Well, Kristen, I want to say a huge thank you for, I mean, everything that you do in terms of working in the hospital too. Like that's amazing. I can't imagine the amount of stress that you deal with on a daily basis. Just like, in this time, I mean, especially now with all these surges, it's like you guys are like literally superheroes. I don't know how you guys have been doing it.
I'll tell you, I was in a room today and got pulled out of it because that patient had just tested positive and I was wearing the like we have to wear masks and everything like from dawn till dusk there, but I wasn't in like the N95, and I got pulled out of the room, and they were like, they just tested positive, so you need to go and like change everything and put this different mask on, and so it's just I hate to say that you get used to it because you never do, but it's, it makes me miss 1998 when I was in middle school.
I feel like now
using a paper planner.
Watching like movies from any time before like the last 2 years, I mean, I'm like, wait, no one's wearing masks. Like, where are all these people from? Like, especially like from, I mean, I live fairly close to New York City, so it was always very normal for me to go and visit and like see everyone out in the streets, but like to now like seeing videos of like or movies and like, oh my gosh, no one's wearing masks in New York City. It's crazy, and it's just it's such a weird time, and I want to say thank you for all that you're doing, and still being here to discuss Run Disney with us. I appreciate it.
This is my break from reality.
Yeah, I think that goes for all of us. I think all of us. I mean, wow, we do need the Disney magic sometimes, and Run Disney is extra magic.
Yeah, and I think I think so I went right after Disney reopened. I was there like 10 days after it reopened, and so it reopened in July, 1st of July. And I was there, well, maybe it was about a month because I was there 1st of August, which was real hot. But there was a moment where I just stood in front of the castle and just cried because it was, it was, I don't know, it was just like this reminder of, it was like this beacon, which is what it's called anyway. It's just this beacon of, there's still good and it's going to be okay. And I think that's what Disney and Run Disney and everything, I think that's what it does for a lot of us, is it's that reminder of no matter what's happening outside of the, perimeter of the property, right then and there, it's okay. It's you're away from it. It's okay. So thank you for being a part of that community too, and being, somebody that is such an encouragement to those of us that, come to your stream and your page in the Discord to be encouraged, because that has been my experience from the get-go since I've gotten to know you. It has been nothing but encouraging. So thank you.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. And I agree 100% that I'm actually going to quote from The Amazing Spider-Man, like, I think instead of Spider-Man, but, Disney is the symbol of hope for so many of us. And I think it represents dreams, and it represents hope and the goodness and the innocence of the world. And I think when there's so much stuff going on in the world that we don't have control over, we do have control over what we view as hope and symbols of passion and kindness and happiness. And I think Disney represents that for all of us. And I think that when they announced that the races were coming back, I had a really similar, like, I was crying because
I did too.
It was just like this, like what was no longer normal then almost was normalized again, of being able to go back. And I didn't have the opportunity to go back to Disney until in the spring of this year. And so it was really magical to go back after so long. And I know that there's still a lot of people that haven't had the opportunity to go back. And I'm really blessed that I, was able to get vaccinated and go and travel and be safe as I could. And I still hope to do that. But it's been such a symbol, I think, of hope for all of us. And I think that's really important to talk about too. Yeah, dreams do come true. And I think there's like so much hate on Disney adults. Like, I don't understand it because like who doesn't want to believe in magic? Like that good things happen in the world. Like what on earth? I don't know. Anyway, I think it's important to have that mindset of there being good in the world. And it reminds me of Lord of the Rings too. There's some good left in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. And I think we're all fighting for that. And so, Kristen, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me. This was fun. Again.
Yes, we have to do more Run Disney things. We'll definitely talk about gear and some other events as they come through the year, like Princess and this new springtime surprise, which I think we're all very surprised about.
Surprise.
I know. I just want to stay in the Disney bubble too. I don't want to ever leave.
Yeah,
Baby
no.
steps. Yeah. I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for being here as always. Unfortunately, Nate couldn't be here tonight. I feel like I could have said that in the beginning of the stream, but I just got so excited about RunDisney. So hopefully he'll be able to join us the next time. But thank you guys so much. If you have any questions regarding RunDisney, feel free to shoot Kristen a message, myself a message. We also have the Discord where we answer lots of questions as well. And hopefully we'll do some more. Actually, starting the new year, I believe Justin said we're going to do another fitness challenge. So if anyone's interested in that, let us know. We typically do steps. If you're not comfortable doing step challenges, we do like running challenges, mental health challenges. So there's so much stuff. Oh my gosh, Stacy, yes, I do. And to be honest, I didn't even think about it tonight. So I will do a double one next week. And I will also do my jokes for next week as well. So I appreciate you guys all for being here. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening and a great week. And I hope you had a wonderful holiday. And
yeah.
I'm like, what happened this week? And
I got festive with the background. I decided to...
For some reason, when we were talking about the spring, I'm like, it's like September, right? No.
No.
It's the end of December. When did that happen? So have a wonderful, happy new year. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize that by the time I see you guys next year, it will be 2022 for our next stream. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see y'all real soon.